Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, LMG here, bringing you the 7 Days to Die Alpha 13 patch notes. Yeah, but we're waiting a couple of months on this big, huge update, but it looks like it's going to be really all worth it. Fun Pimps already have a couple of preview videos out. If you want to go out to their YouTube channel, check that out. Covers a lot of things, but I'm going to go through all the patch notes so you don't have to do all that crazy reading, but I will have the link below. I'm not going to go into all the miscellaneous changes because there's just so much. This is like a completely new game. Yeah, they've redone everything. As you guys know, I'm in the second season of our 7 Days to Die playthrough. But we took a little bit of a hiatus because we were just waiting for the next update. I just didn't think it would be this long. And of course, you also know one of the other early access zombie games, Dead Linger, now Dead in the Water. Couldn't even compare to this game. I think it is one of the best zombie games out there. Yeah, definitely hit a like if you agree, but alright, let's get on to the patch notes. Yeah, first up we have new zombies, high-res zombies, and animals. Yeah, they got 5 new base males and 3 new base female high-res zombies. A new high-resolution nurse, new high-res frozen lumberjack, and a new HD crawler. So all the zombies are basically high-res now. So very, Apocalypse is looking very nice. And they actually do have a new screamer zombie that investigates the world heat, like the spider zombie did. He investigates all activity. So the spider zombie is now in the normal zombie spawning mix. And they've also added zombie bears to the game. Yeah, as the developer said, they will fuck you and your Ford up. Yeah, definitely want to watch out that. Another great thing they've added chickens. Oh god, what's that? The apocalypse without chickens. Yeah, they've added chickens to the game for another source of meat, feathers, and eggs. Oh, finger looking good. All right. Another big thing is they were working on this a while ago out and filming out in California. Now they got motion capture zombie animations, and I have seen that at work. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, they got a new set of motion capture animations for the zombies that are root motion driven. Yeah, they anchor to the world and they look really good. They have a new death to ragdoll animation transition system, looking very nice. I think I'm very much a fan of zombie dismemberment system. Yeah, they got a brand new cutting edge dismemberment system. It applies the right weapon conditions. You can lop off limbs, elbow, shoulder, knees, or hips, or you can take off their heads. Depends on the damage given meets the requirement damage threshold. Yeah, damage to zombie arm legs cannot kill the zombie. Only direct damage to the head and chest can kill it now. So you gotta get for the head, man. Aim for the head. Remember to double tap. They also have a dynamic limping and crippling system. So you can top a zombie legs and their walk can change from normal to hobbled walk, and if damaged enough they fall to the ground and become a crawling zombie. Nice! So spike traps, landmines, pipe bombs, landmines, and fire damage also interact with the system for the same thing. And they also do now have a knockdown combat system. Very nice. Allows you to knock down zombies in prone or kneeling stun states. So actually you can give back to the zombies for a change. So when the zombie is in a prone stun state, players deal 3 times the damage, while the kneeling state deals 2 times the damage. So, oh dang, that is pretty nice. Okay, next big thing is, I'm a very big fan of this. Temperature and extreme weather survival system. First up, let's talk about the world temperature. Yeah, the world has a global temperature now in Fahrenheit degrees, and it's displayed in the new map under map stats can also be seen hitting the F8 key. And this world temperature fluctuates per biome, per time of day, and gets colder the higher up you are, and warmer the lower you are. If you do like those high up bases like I do, oh, this could be a problem. Yeah, wind speed can also impact the temperature, which is also shown in the map screen stat section. Ooh, nice. So they got a lot of new stats there now. And a player temperature. This is really nice. If you didn't know it's long dark, I'm all about this. The player has a core temperature in Fahrenheit degrees, which is the world temperature, plus how it feels the player. And they actually have that in the new character menu. Oh, so that's nice. If you hit the F8, and in debug mode only, though. When the player gets too cold, a snowflake buff displays in the lower right corner of the screen. I wonder if you get too... And when the player gets too hot, yeah, sun buff displays in the lower right corner of the screen. So you can burn out there in the desert, so that's kind of sweet. I don't know if you want to do that, but you can if you want to. Yeah, players can also get wet by moving through the water volumes in the world, or being exposed to the rain or snow over time. So you do get wet. Your wetness can go up to like kind of like Skyrim's mod, Frostfall, the hypothermia. You eventually get cold over time, but you can warm up though. Yeah, temperature and wetness defense. So actually all your clothing has a positive and negative insulation degree, which you can check that out by examining it in the stats in the new info window above the backpack. And so they all have a plus and some have a negative value for hot weather survival. So you definitely want to check out your clothes. Maybe keep 2 sets for different hot, cold. Maybe just run around naked out there. You can do whatever you want. Okay, we'll talk about some temperature modifiers. Wearing clothing that has a negative insulation value will cool down the player, desirable for hot weather survival. So, example, the cowboy hat keeps players cooler in the desert. Pretty common knowledge. And wearing clothes that have positive insulation value will warm the player and desirable for cold weather. Okay, yeah, if you go through the lakes, the rain, or the snow, you're gonna get wetter and colder. And that will cool you down if you are hot. So if you've just got a cold winter biome next to a desert biome, you can just run back and forth. And it's pretty obvious. Staying near a campfire or forge as burning will warm the player up. And going up indoors will also warm you up when you're cold and cool you when you're hot. So you definitely want to stay indoors if the temperature gets a little bit too much on the plus or negative side. And exposure to direct sunlight will warm you up, and shade will cool the player. Yeah, making it very, very realistic and 7 days to die here. And some foods and drinks have temperature core temp warning or cooling properties. So drinking warm coffee warms you up, while water and goldenrod tea will cool you. Nice. And wind speed can also cool the player down. That's actually pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. And if the wind's going cool enough, that will cool you off. Now, so also next, let's talk about the harvest and the universal block upgrade system. Yeah, they've overhauled the block health, so everything in the world, from a wood wall to a deer carcass, has a health. When attached to it, all has health now. Yeah, a lot of GUI changes you can see from the screenshots here. They actually did have to change up. You're going to see a lot of resource, a lot of recipe changes. Yeah, but actually when you're harvesting stuff, you'll see stuff in the right, like in the screenshot there, in the bottom right. You will see stuff added as you, like if you're, for instance, knocking down a tree, you will get it as you start hitting the tree. You'll start getting wood from it as you go along. So it won't be that you bang on the tree for a while, it falls down, and then you get just 4 little blocks all together. It just seems kind of weird. So that is actually pretty nice. So you actually remove resources. You can see from the picture from the bear also, you will get meat, and as you start harvesting, you will get more stuff so if you have to cut and run, at least you're going to get something. Okay, let's talk about universal block upgrading. And they have added a universal block upgrading system. So every early block in the game can be upgraded. If you have construction class tools such as a stone axe, a wrench, claw hammer, nail gun, any of those, and the right resources. So all the block core materials can actually be taken to the higher level tier. So now they have a hierarchy. So they have maintained the old building system though, so you can still build the same old way. Actually, look a little bit more at the block upgrade hierarchy. So wood block upgrades to reinforced wood blocks. Okay, reinforced wood block upgrades to metal upgrades to scrap iron blocks, and scrap iron blocks upgrade to reinforced scrap iron blocks, reinforced scrap iron blocks upgrade to reinforced concrete blocks, and concrete walls upgrade to steel walls. So basically, you can't go all the way from wood to steel on the same block. That's pretty nice. You don't have to spend so much time rebuilding and doing all that. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, they have a brand new UI with as you look in this picture here, with that added functionality and the skill system. Oh, looking pretty cool. They actually do have new inventory controls. So actually we'll have to give it a try and see how it works. Yeah, they do say must remember we'll fight you at first. We've got about 700 hours, so it's kind of like, I don't know. Actually, we'll be left click to inspect an item. Wow, that is kind of weird. Left click hold to drag and take a stack. Left click to drop or swap a stack. Right click to hold and drag a half stack. And right click to drop one item at a time. Oh, that's going to take some getting used to. I don't know. Not sure I'm on board with that. We'll have to see. Next, we'll talk about the new clean GUI design framework. So you notice the minimalistic new clean design. Actually, we will see on the picture. Everything looks, oh god, it looks a lot prettier, I gotta say. You have all your stuff in one thing. You got you take your clothing, your crafting, your inventory. It's all in one. Oh my god, I love it. That is beautiful. You got stats, active effects. Oh, 7 days to die, take me. That is awesome. And actually, do have to say on the other top, they do have a paging system. You can do all your stuff with the map and all that. Everything else, all in one easy little GUI there. Oh, that is so nice. So let's talk about the new crafting system. Because, of course, why wouldn't we have a new crafting system with the update? Yeah, so the new crafting system can access by hitting the tab key, or you can do the crafting icon in the new little menu settings you see up on the top there. So this look about the same. It's just really much prettier. But the one new thing you do want to know is actually you can't get up 4 recipes can be queued at once. Oh, that is actually really nice. You just don't have to do one at a time. You can do up to 4. Oh, that's gonna make me cry a little. That is really nice. Yeah, it's a large, generous recipe window. And you got a favorites button. Oh, and a search page and page scrolling. So that is nice. All right, then we'll get the next picture here. We'll talk about the character system. So all you have to do is click on the character item in the new paging system header. And they got a very generous large window. You can actually see your effects. So you got the main character page, but then you can scroll over and zoom out to various other stuff. That's like, I'm getting overwhelmed by all the information, alright. That is crazy. That is so awesome. You can actually check out all your stats right there for that. And actually the new mapping system, let's talk about that as well. And the new map screen features everything the old one did and so much more. And they got a full 3 kilometer zoom out. Oh, nice. You can still access that. You don't have to go in the page header. You just hit the M shortcut. It actually does display the time and day, outside temp, wind speed, and the elevation. What? That is awesome. Next, another big thing we do, waypoints. And you can actually share waypoints with allies and everyone on the server as well if you're doing multiplayer. I don't tend to do the multiplayer so much. I pop in every once in a while. But last time I did, it was like, you never really saw any zombies on the server. Like, there never, because zombies cause lag, so it's like, what's to play a game without zombies? It's like playing DayZ. There's no zombies. Okay. Next, they did also change the player system up as well. It's actually looking much prettier. All the UI, all the menus, looking a lot prettier. Yeah, you can also see all the players on the server, their important stats, invite them as allies, track multiple allies, and you can actually see their distance in kilometers. So if they're your allies, you'll be able to see them. You can actually, that's a much easier way of keeping track of your friends there. Okay, next we'll talk about the new skill system. Yeah, they've added the first version of skills, but they big plan to extend with a lot more skills, special perks, and your initial profession and hobby. Oh, that is so nice. You can level up your mining tool usage. Oh, nice. So you can mine up a bunch of different tools, including your blades, blunts, construction, mining, fist, pistols, shotguns, rifles, clothing, cloth clothing, fur clothing, scrap clothing, iron clothing, and more. So a total of 37 in their first version. And these skill levels can go up to 100 and be leveled up 2 ways. First, by performing activities like attacking, firing, repairing, or crafting with an item from a skill group. The second way to level up a skill is to purchase the next level up in the skill purchasing menu. So you do get skill points, so you can do whenever you level up, you can put that into whatever you feel like. Pretty nice. Pretty basic stuff. And the first person, I guess there's only one perk available, called it Quality Joe, which has 3 tiers adding 20 to 50 and 100 of quality to found looted items. But they do have a lot more plans, so stay tuned for that. Then we'll talk a little bit more about creative menu page and systems. So actually the creative, if you're do like to do the creative stuff, just build, not mess with zombies or anything. They've actually redone all of that as well. That is so awesome. Yeah, they've redone everything. So actually, you can dead block toggle for modding. Ooh, very nice. Next thing to talk about, the campfire system. You can actually see what the UI has changed as well. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, the overall campfire system has a large, generous recipe window on the left. Ooh. So it's got the favorites button, it's got all that. Yeah, hasn't changed too much, but actually I think you can also queue, it looks like you got up to 4 recipes as well. So that's pretty nice. And 3 slots for fuel. Oh, looking so pretty, so pretty. And then the forge recipes have pretty much changed. They've changed all around. But you can actually still queue up 4 recipes at once. Oh, nice. It actually can process 6 material types, including iron, brass, lead, glass, stone, and clay. That hasn't really changed. And actually, forged recipes can now require up to 5 material types and a tool. Woo! And that also has a generous 6-slot output overflow with finished recipes. So if you can actually craft up 4, leave it, you don't have to worry about that. That's pretty sweet. Actually, one thing, if you notice, they did add a new compass to the top center of the screen. It's actually allowed more tracked icons to be seen. All save waypoints, player backpacks, bedroll, track friends, and waypoints. Oh, very nice. And they actually reduced the GI clutter as well, because you actually see it's all on the bottom left. Not taken up. It looks a lot more clean. It looks a lot more clean. You don't have to worry about so much. Like before, it was just like, God, it'd take up like half the screen. It's like, oh my God. So now actually you can see the health and the stamina are a little bit more wider, but the horizontal, but still on the left, kept down. Looking very nice. And now the gun and item assembly system. So they changed guns, chainsaws, and augers. So players can spec them and change parts, assembling them in a different way. So basically, you can left click on any gun, chainsaw, auger, a single part one of these, and you can see a preview of every part attached to it, and the quality of those parts. So you can change the parts out if you find a nicer part. So you can actually upgrade that gun. Oh, that is very nice. They talk about characters' clothing and items. Okay, they added a unisex afro and dreadlocks. Which if you want to do the apocalypse with the dreadlocks, you can do that. And they've actually redone everything in the game. They had leather clothing, iron armor, and a newly early craftable plant fiber clothing set. New animal hide clothing set. And a long leather duster. Oh, this game so needed a duster. And a new black cowboy hat. And a complete hazmat suit for the upcoming radiation survival. Oh, that's a little bit of a tease. That looks nice. And they've actually also done a lot of the player animations as well. Let's talk about some of the other new items they've added. A makeshift rocket launcher. Ooh. AK-47, machete, chainsaw, and auger are craftable now. And improved. And much, much more. There's going to be so much. It's going to take us days to cover all that. Let's also talk about location updates. If you're playing the Nazca game county map. They've got 8 old abandoned houses that don't have zombies in them. Don't have much loot either. Okay, that's actually perfect for a place to hold up for an early night, or to actually you could build a little settlement there if you so choose. They've also had a new fenced in parking lot and a new waterworks utility complex for the game, and 2 new ponds for random gen. On top of that, they had a deconstruction pass and garbage debris pass, so making the apocalypse looking a lot more shitty again. Pretty nice. They've had a new chain link fence set, new industrial pipe set, new lootable dumpster, new decal trash piles. They've added so much. New ductwork, new vault doors, new vault hatches. Oh, so nice. And they've added all the new locations to random gen. And they actually fixed some of that, so some of the stuff wasn't spawning. It now is. Let's also talk about the audio. This is something I'm very excited about, because we actually had the recording session. They've actually recorded a lot of stuff that we'll actually get into when they have that story mode and quests and all that. Yeah, they've obtained a lot of audio. For the people that did Borderlands, Duke Nukem Forever, Full Metal Alchemist, Dragon Ball Z, to name a few. And they've got a bunch of both male and female player sounds, bass and special infected zombie sounds. And they've done a bunch of future audio for traders, quest givers, and bandits. So, can't wait for that. Yeah, they've redone pretty much all the audio. Everything has been redone. Another thing we want to talk about is the dynamic fluid system. So it's still going to be a little voxelized, but water is now going to take the shape more naturally. And now the water pass, making it a little bit easier. So it always looks for the easiest path down, so it's not quite so crazy. And actually, you can control the water goes down by digging trenches. which you could do before, but it was really a pain in the ass. And actually, they are actually putting some loot deep underwater. That actually looks a bit of a tease. So you might have to swim through some flooded basins and even lakes, which are nice. Nothing evaporation. Water must not be kept in buckets, enclosed structures, or holes in the ground, or evaporate and soon be gone. Oh, you cheeky monkey. That is pretty sweet. And actually, you do really want to check out the patch notes if you're really into the crafting and everything, because they have changed so much, fixed so many things. Like, I don't even think they put it all in there. That is crazy. So that is actually supposed to be coming out today throughout, always up to Monday. They've got about 50 fixes yet left to do, unless they run across something really bug breaking. Alright guys, that is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe. And tune in for our next episode of 7 Days to Die as we launch into Alpha 13. This is going to be something to behold. I cannot wait. And I will see you guys in the next video.